Misty's just going to hear me all the time. Yeah, I let go.
Welcome, everyone, to the very first solo prelim of the 2026 USA Jigsaw Nationals. We are so excited to have you here today, and we are so excited to get this competition started. So while you guys have been hanging out, just some reminders for you to, you guys have all nailed it so far. Don't open the bag on your table. Awesome job. Everything, all your belongings, try to get them under the tables, out of the aisleways as much as possible. We don't want any tripping hazards for our lovely judges. Give our judges a round of applause. Thank you for joining us and making sure all the puzzlers' times are counted when they need to be. If you have any name corrections to make that on your name badge there, your name tag there. You can also do that when you finish. Make sure all of your distractions are turned off, and you do need to keep the board on your table. You can adjust it, but it does need to be there, and make sure you don't bother your neighbor's board. So let's talk about the competition. So how do we do this thing? For those of you that haven't been here before, the very first thing to know, we are going to count down, not yet, we're going to count down, and I'm going to let you know when you can open your bag and start puzzling. There will be puzzles in your bags, and the puzzles have seals on them that should be cut. If for some reason they're not cut, raise your hand. Don't try to do anything with the puzzle. Raise your hand, and a volunteer will come to you immediately, get that cut for you, and they'll start your time at the appropriate time. So no stress if that happens. As you get close to completing, if you don't see a judge nearby, raise your hand to kind of let a judge know, and they will make sure to be there to count your time. They will count your time as soon as your hands come up and off the puzzle. You're going to want to put them up and wave them around anyway because you're so excited that you're done. If you have a missing piece or missing pieces, don't stress about that either. There's just a 10-second penalty. Once you notice that the piece is missing, just let the judges know, and they will start a 10-second count. If after 10 seconds you don't find the piece, they'll mark down the penalty as PAA. If you find it sooner, they'll stop your time sooner. And at the very end, we'll do a countdown to the hour-and-a-half limit. And if you haven't quite completed your puzzle then, that's fine. We're going to count down. We're going to tell you to throw your hands up. Thank goodness that the time is done. And then we're going to count how many pieces have been assembled. We'll do that by counting how many pieces you didn't assemble. Your judges will tell you how to go about that. But anything that's 2 pieces or more that's been assembled, even if not inside the puzzle, will be counted. And you're the very first Heat A. So we're so excited to have you be our very first prelim. Our finals, we have 4 prelims today with the finals on Sunday. There are 200 people per heat, and you guys have an hour-and-a-half time limit. 500-piece puzzles in those bags, and the top half of each prelim advances. So you've got a great chance. And with all of that, I think that is all of my notes. So I'm going to ask you guys to start getting ready. We're going to do a countdown. I'm going to make sure all of my staff is ready. You're good? Just hide there. Okay. All right. I want to ask, are you guys ready to puzzle? All right. Then we are going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
All right. Get a look at this baby.
Oh, this is a lovely puzzle. I'm so excited for everybody to be working on this.
Yeah. It's such a bright, colorful, it's called Tropical Vibes. It's a puzzle by Louise Marlin. Oh, shoot, I think I spelled that wrong on our slide that's about to come up, so I apologize, everybody. I think it says Lewis. But yeah, no, this is a very exciting puzzle, and I want to welcome everybody to the stream. I am Valerie Coit, one of your co-hosts, and I'm joined by
Jim Eakins.
Yes. at Nerd Puzzle, also known as. But yeah, we're so excited to be here and be kicking off our first event at the 2026 USA Jigsaw Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia. This is individual round A, and what happens here is the top 50 individuals from this round will move on to the final and compete again on Sunday in the final round. So we're just excited to be here and finally get this thing going. I am one of the organizers, and we've been planning this for a year and a half, so it's exciting to have it go.
Well, and I'm sure these puzzlers are excited. You know, it's 9 a.m. here right now, and they are off to a crazy clip. You usually want to see your flip done in about the first 3 minutes or so, and we're a minute 22 into this. But let's take a look at this image that they're going to be working on for the next, half hour, hour and a half that this is going to be running.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And this cartoon style really lends itself to these bright color pops that these puzzlers tend to love. And I really am excited about all of the different textures that are throughout this thing. A lot of times you can have plants or green colors that kind of overlap and make it really difficult in terms of duplication to work through this. But there's so much beautiful different textures in the bottom that are working really, really well.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous. Like right away, I think I'll be curious to see what people start with, because you do have like a bit of a sky gradient, color gradient there. The only thing is you've got all the trees in front of it. Oh, sorry. Looks like our graphic is a little off. Like I said, sorry, it says Lewis instead of Louise. Oh no.
we're getting everything worked out in this first round, and that's a-okay. But I am so excited here. Earlier we had a close-up look at Kyle Kosen, one of the top puzzlers in the world, let alone in Utah, and is a fantastic human. You can see the image here now, and this is what I was talking about. You can see that there's a really nice gradient in the sky with that purple and blue and those yellow lines. That's going to be a really good target vector. I think that purple and blue house is going to be good.
Yeah.
And some puzzlers are going to be really attracted to making little islands of progress here with like that blue door or that red awning, because it's a unique color, it's a unique texture. It makes for a really good early grab to work on.
I can't decide from looking at this if I think it's going to be a lot of people working on the bottom section with all the different plants last, or if it's going to be the trees, because those palm trees are pretty identical. The only difference is in terms of size. So that could give people a few clues, but I suspect we're going to see a lot of those palm trees going in last, because they're going to look the most similar, versus down in the bottom, there's a lot going on with the flowers, but it's all these different textures, all these different colors. So I think those should go together pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is definitely a case where the more you can switch the lenses and switch between looking at the background and the foreground and figuring out how you want to do outlines of things, that's really gonna set you up for success down the line as we cross about the 3 minute and 42 seconds here in this solo preliminary round A.
Well, we should probably introduce some of our top players, because we've got a lot of heavy hitters in this round.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but that's the case with every round. The U.S. is like bringing it, man. We've got a lot of people that are really talented and a pretty deep bench of really fast puzzlers in the States. So we're excited to see at our top tables here. They are assigned the tables by rank, and how they kind of determine that is the JPAR rating that they have, which is a stats system that we have within the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association. And so we look at that and other performances and other big events like the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship, St. Paul Winter Carnival, those kinds of things. And that helps us to determine where folks are sort of placed. So we are looking right there at our top seats, Kelly Walter and Hannah Sigler at tables 1 and 2.
Yeah, you can see as we come up on the 4 minute and 40-second line, Kelly Walters over on the left and Hannah Sigler's, I believe, Hannah Sigler's over on the right. You can see that they both completed their initial flip, and now they're both operating in a larger build field. You can see Hannah Sigler is really quick out the gates here, and now we're looking at table 2, and I believe that's going to be Jen Sipple and Abby Patino.
Oh, sorry, Abby is not here today, so I should find out who took her spot, because Abby was unable to make it, and we were going to have a person be jumping in at the last moment. Oh, it's Andrea Heiston.
Yeah, and Andrea's a wonderful puzzler. You can see that dividing each of these tables is one of these large brown piece of wood by Zacco puzzle boards. It's a really useful tool because it makes sure that there's no pieces that are going to slide across the table and mix with the other competitors. But they're doing a really good job. You can see that the borders are building out, and I like that the person on now that we're on this.
Yeah, we went to table 3. Yep.
Yeah.
Or it's like, actually, I guess technically it's 5 and 6. So this is Christina Harwell and Jessa Douglas at this table. And we're excited to have this overhead camera view of the first 4 tables here at the Sears Nationals. So we're going to get to see some really easy side-by-side wide-angle shots here.
And I love how fast Jessa Douglas has gotten this border.
Yeah.
You always want to see your border done under about 6 minutes and 30 if it's a straightforward image. And she is flying right now to get this done. And I also love the technique of having the pieces in the middle of the build field and then moving out to where they're going to live, sort of a directed border, we call that.
Yep.
And it's really, really slick puzzling by both of them. You can see Christina Hardwell focusing in so hard right now in order to try to figure out what's the next best vector of approach whenever you're attacking this puzzle.
100%. I think this is one of those that would almost be, you have an abundance of choices. It's sort of like you have to be like focused and go, you're not going to hesitate. You're just going to grab the next part and get going on it. There's like no room for hesitation on this stuff because we're talking finishes will be probably within seconds of each other. So you really just need to have a pretty straightforward plan. You don't want to be sitting there going, where am I going next? You just kind of want to be like, okay, I know what I'm doing now, and then starting. But honestly, you've got so many choices here of things to just pick out, put together, and get in there quickly.
Absolutely. You can see on screen now we have Karen Cavett, also known as Karen Puzzles. Many people in the chat around the world know her. And you can also see Skye Vanderleest right next to her. Karen's doing a great job. Karen has such a good color acuity whenever it comes to gradients, so I'm not really surprised that she went for that top edge early and then is starting to work her way down. You can see she's also done little bits of sorts over on the right-hand side and is then delivering those pieces across. So that early accuracy is going to pay off later.
Yeah. It's great to see Karen back. She wasn't with us in 2025 at Jigsaw Nationals, and we missed her dearly. So we're very excited that she's here in Atlanta with us this weekend and joining us again. And I think she's a little nervous about it because, it's her first time back in a while. But I think more than anything, she's just hoping to have a really fun time this weekend with the convention and everything else. You guys will get to talk to Karen in the chat if you're watching and want to interact, because she is going to be the host or guest co-host for the next round. So she'll be joining us for the individual prelim B in the next round.
Yeah, and it's so exciting to see so many people here. And I think all of these puzzlers are a little nervous right now because only 50 people are going to move on from this preliminary round into the finals, and there are a lot of excellent puzzlers in here. Several of them have already made it into finals in previous years or have gone to semis and finals in world events. So this is a pretty stacked round, and I'm not surprised if people are a little, have a little bit of tension in their hands or in their back trying to figure out how can I make a little bit more advancement on this puzzle. You can see there at table 125, trying to pull the names out here pretty quickly.
Here, I can pull it up.
It's Andrea Babcock.
Yep, Alexandra Babcock.
Oh, sorry, Alexandra Babcock. Doing a solid job here. You can see that Alexandra started to do a pretty significant sort up front. And this is a strategy where you hope to make a really accurate sort early, and then you zipper through later on down the line. So it's an investment in time where if you're real accurate early, it pays off later on, but it looks like you're behind for a little while, and it can be nerve-wracking in that position.
Definitely. I do like to do it this way, but it is really like you have to have that discipline about it, because when you start to see, you can't help but see it in your periphery, the person next to you, and if they're getting like the edge done, all this stuff done, and you're still sorting, you just sit there thinking, oh no, this is terrible, what am I doing? And you tend to doubt yourself. So I appreciate that there are people that kind of just stick with that, because I do think that can really pay off in the long run.
We're coming up on 9 minutes and 47 seconds here, and you can see that these puzzlers, a lot of them have initial parts of the border done, or they're doing little bits of sort. You can see that on this particular table, somebody decided to grab that house that's over on the right-hand side, that awning. Awnings are deceptively tricky depending on how big they are, and you really have to use that forced perspective to figure out the directionality of how those lines are going to go together.
Yeah, no, this is so fun. I'm just like dying to do this puzzle, honestly.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty, and you see all the pieces, and it's just so colorful on the table. And I mean, just popping off of that white background, I just think, I am curious what people think of times. We haven't made any predictions, Jim. Do people have predictions for what we're going to be looking at for a finish?
I haven't seen people in the chat throw those out there yet. So if you're in the chat and you have an estimate of what you think,
give us your estimates so I can choose one of those.
That's really great. I have a sneaking suspicion that we can see something around the 36-minute line.
Oh,
I'm gonna be really aggressive. The field has gotten so much faster this year.
Really
There's
fast.
definitely parts of this puzzle that can trip people up, but I am optimistic. I'm really rooting for folks this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's going to be, Allie mentioned it in our opening ceremonies. The times this year 2025 times compared to 2022, individual finishes are about 15 minutes faster. And I don't think it's due to puzzle difficulty. I don't think we're choosing things that are that different in terms of, how you would approach it or where the times would kind of end up. So people are definitely getting faster as the sport grows and progresses. Now we're seeing a lot of predictions. There's somebody under 30. I don't know if we're under 30. Looking at where we're at right now at 11:34, 35, I think it's going to be more like what you had mentioned, Jim. I mean, you were the commentator at Worlds and did this for a very long number of hours. You start to get a feel for things. So I actually think Jim is pretty close. And I will guess, I think I'm going to guess 33 out of just blind optimism. But I have no data to back that up. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, we'll see what happens. You can see here that for just a moment we saw that Hannah. We're about in a dead heat there with that overhead shot. It's so cool to be able to have that particular angle to really get the comparison going.
Yep.
Oh wow! You can see Emily Garrett here has done a really good job getting that top border line in, and has also worked on a little bit of that house over on the lower right-hand side. I think that
the awning, the stripes are going to really stand out for people. And actually, I just heard from Misty on the floor. She's one of our folks out there helping the camera operators know where to go next. And she said that she was like, almost everybody has got that striped awning together already, or at least they've pulled the pieces for it. So that must be something that just really stands out from the pile of puzzle pieces.
And I'm not sure who this is. I think that's table
top
194
down.
has done this upside down bat style.
Interesting.
We sometimes call this kind of border build a choo-choo train, where you orient all of the pieces the same direction and then kind of link them together like tracks on a train over and over.
I expect I'm going to learn a lot of new terminology because that's sort of Jim's thing. Him and his partner, Mari Black, who's a speed puzzler, have Terminology Tuesdays, I believe, on Instagram, where you share some of your puzzle knowledge. So if people want to follow at Nerd Puzzle. Is that correct?
Yeah, nerd underscore puzzle
or
Mari Loves Puzzles.
There you go, or Mari Loves Puzzles. They share insights on strategy and techniques, and it's just fascinating. And they've come up with all these great ways to describe how you do the puzzling, because we don't really have a common vernacular for a lot of this stuff.
I mean, speed puzzling is a growing sport. Like it's been around for a while. But how do we optimize it? How do we make it a little bit better? How do we teach each other and train ourselves to be better at this? Right. And a great way is just really watching how everybody does it and figure out what's similar, what's a little different. How can we approach this?
So that's 22, and I'm looking, and 22 isn't listed.
So this is one of our
somebody who waitlisted maybe and got in at the last minute.
But I love that technique. You could see that they had already built out that orange shed on one side. Going for really unique colors and textures early is a solid tactic to make sure that you get approach. You can see Karen Puzzles here has that full border already worked out. There's a lot of pieces kind of floating in the middle, but Karen's really good at being able to zipper those together as she goes. That yellow and red awning over on the right-hand side waiting to come together. And I think she went for that blue shed that's in the middle and has that worked out.
Yeah, there's another good shot, and you're seeing the same thing there in terms of like what's coming together first for a lot of folks. That red awning, the red striped awning, and that little blue house. You called it, Jim, because you said that right at the beginning. That little blue and purple house is going to be an easy pull and something that a lot of people will put together first. I'm surprised we're not seeing more of the sky, actually, which now makes me think that is going to be maybe some of the stuff that comes in last. My guess is the palm trees obscure so much of it that those are going to be the hard part and maybe going in last. Somebody asked in the chat, how would you tackle the this puzzle, Jim?
Hopefully with about a 10-yard sprint ahead of time, so that way I could get a running go. I think for me this screams island building. So trying to get little clusters of things together that can work out. So I think that blue and purple shed. I think the one over on the left-hand side is really good. The black lines on the house over on the far right. That's probably a better angle to approach this rather than everything that's in yellow.
I kind of wonder if that white picket fence will get pulled at some point. I would think that would stick out a little bit because it's just white, you know, in the midst of all that color. That could be one of the tricky parts when you have this colorful of a puzzle. All the pieces are going to have little bits of color on them. So for me, it's like a lot of times it's looking for things that are black or white that are easy to kind of pull and distinguish.
Good contrast, yeah. Well, and I'm going to be excited for whoever goes after those these flowers in the lower left that have this white, the white petals on the outside and the orange in the middle. I think that's going to be a pretty straightforward pull. And if you can untangle that, it's going to give you a lot of wiggle room all around that in order to build in these guys down in the corner that have that background. And pretty much any one of these flowers, I think these double reds here are also going to be really good targets early on. This stripy, the mother-in-law's tongue, I'm not sure.
I can't remember the name of that plant. I know I'm trying to remember my plant lingo. If anybody in the chat knows, let us know.
But those might be a little difficult in order to work out because it's probably about 25, 30 pieces there.
Yeah, that is one thing I'll say. This is a weird, it's a little different, this puzzle, because it's not what I would call a busy puzzle, but it's also not just like a straight landscape either. It's got a lot going on. So it's kind of between, I would say.
I think this is a great puzzle for competition because it has so many elements that ask for different techniques from the puzzlers. It's not just a, hey, here's a full-on gradient, good luck, or it's so busy that there's only one way to approach it. This really has so many different elements that everybody can approach it in a way that's best for them. It's really exciting. Snake plant, yes, thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Yeah, I think it's going to be fast, but, you know, it's going to have its challenges with that sky area maybe.
Well, we're coming up on the 17-minute and 41-second line, and we are seeing a lot of really good progress from all these puzzlers. I love the crew here. They are getting so much good footage of different puzzlers. We can see here, table 53, Angela doing a great job, has that border out. Something without hyper fixating. You can see Angela didn't have that border fully built, but was able to keep chugging away. And you can see the same thing here happening at table 1. I believe this is Kelly and Hannah again. You can see over on the left, Kelly doesn't have that full border worked out, and instead of trying to hunt down the 5-6 pieces that it needs to be, she just moved on to the next thing.
Getting on with it. Yep. I agree with that. Like, I am not one of those people that's like, I'm missing an edge piece and then spends a bunch of time looking for it, because waste of time. It'll come along later and it'll go in super easy. You're going to know exactly where it goes.
Yeah, Mari and I often say that speed puzzling has a little bit of a misnomer, and it should be called efficiency puzzling. Because if you're spending the extra, 4 seconds looking for one thing, that's 4 seconds down the drain.
Yes, exactly.
I think you were right, Val, looking for those really bright colors in the background. We're seeing a lot of ships starting to come into play, and those white sails stick out really, really well on that blue and sky background, and we're seeing more and more people gunning for that now.
Yep. I will say it is quiet in here. It's always like this, I feel like, with individuals, because you don't have the chatter of like the pairs and the teams when they're kind of collaborating and communicating a lot while they're puzzling. So it's a lot of people with headphones and a pretty quiet atmosphere.
Yeah. Jameson in the chat was asking, how is it in the hall today? Is it warm, loud, or quiet? Well, Val, it's pretty quiet in here. I wouldn't say it's sweltering hot. I think people are just kind of warm, and there's a lot of bodies in the room, but it's not it's not unbearable or anything. It's just pleasant. Yeah.
They're probably seeing the sweat on my face and are like, "Wow, it must be hot in there." No, that's just nerves, everybody.
No. Oh yeah, well, and that's the big thing. You're coming up on about 20 minutes here in this competition, and you know that there's certain markers that you want to hit in terms of overall completion to make it into the finals. And if you're feeling a little behind, that can stress you out a bit. But progress over here, I think that's table. I think that was Sky.
I think that's Karen. We're seeing.
Karen's on the left.
Oh, yep.
There we go. Has done such a great job getting those buildings together, and this is. this is another thing that can happen whenever you have in-person competitions, is that there's somebody right next to you the entire time that you may bump elbows occasionally, you may run into. You can see what they're working on, and it causes you to question yourself. Am I working on the right thing right now? And the answer is always yes. Whatever you see is the right thing to work on.
And that is something a little different. Like if you watched World's coverage, they tend to usually give, maybe the top 10, 20 puzzlers will have their own table. We don't do that here. Everybody has to share regardless of placement, so we can get the maximum number of puzzlers in every round. So there are 200 people in here right now puzzling. We have had last minute cancellations, and we had, I think, about 300 people on the wait list, Jim. This competition isn't big enough. We would love to make it bigger, but we also don't want to add days to competition, and there are only so many rounds we can get going in a day. So in the morning, people were lining up, and if there were spots that were open just before competition, they got right in there. Oh, yeah, so we had a surprise person decide to join us, Andrea Pang, and she's at table number 43, and she was one of those waitlisters this morning, and I saw her on the way in, and I was like, I'm so glad you could make it and be here, because she's got a big trip coming up, and she didn't know if she was going to make it, so she hadn't signed up, so she's on the wait list. She asked me, do you know anybody who needs a teammate? And I was like, Andrea, I think you could probably auction off that opportunity because you are literally a world champion, so I would imagine there's lots of folks who would love to have her on their team. But yeah, she waitlisted it, and she got in this morning.
And look at this. This is Kelsey Mills. She has that whole building on the right-hand side built out. And this is a really cool tactic where instead of having all the pieces off to the side in an empty build field, we sometimes call this chaos puzzling, where all the pile is in the middle, and you pull those things out from the middle to where they're going to end up. You can see that she started to go for those red flowers at the bottom. Really, really cool color acuity to be able to pick that out and make that a target early on.
I'm drawn to red, so I can see that. I do that a lot when I have a big jumble puzzle of just pulling all the red. Oh, so I just heard from the crew. We're going to go to somebody who's a special guest here this weekend in a little bit. And I will give more info on that when I see it come up. There he is. So this is Soup Timmy. Soup Timmy is a YouTube star, a content creator who is really good at speed cubing. And that's his specialty, but he decided he wanted to give jigsaws a try. So he joined us this weekend to do a couple competitions and kind of check out the vibe. So we're super excited to have Soup Timmy here. So if you want to check out Soup Timmy's channel, I would recommend. Does a lot of really cool videos about just different types of speed puzzling. And it's
speed
fantastic.
Cubing.
Yeah,
That's
speed
great.
cubing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I know there's some puzzlers. I think it was Hannah Doyle did a competition with the speed cuber not too long ago on Twitch.
Oh, nice.
And that was really fun to see.
Yeah, and shout out to our Twitch audience, too, because we're live on Twitch and YouTube all weekend. So we're super excited. And we have a lot of Twitch content creators here, and some of them are going to be joining me on the live stream as co-hosts, too. And they're well known on the Twitch community as speed puzzlers. So like Kyle Kosin, for example, is going to be with me during one of the pairs rounds tomorrow. And yeah, so we're going to have lots of folks joining from both kind of spectrums of the content creation areas.
Look at that the progress that Casey
that.
Abbott has made. That is so lovely. She almost
Really
has a full
good.
connection from left to right all the way across.
Love it. That's like the best feeling when you get that full connection across or up and down. It's just like, oh, I've done it. I've connected the edges.
Oh, and this is Kelly Walter and Hannah Sigler again. You could see that those flowers are coming in. That lower left-hand side with that orange center with the white sprouts. Those went in so quickly for both of them.
And I think now you're going to see a real ramp up, too, because we're at the 24-minute mark or so. And as you can see, as it's really starting to come together, that's just going to make people go progressively faster and faster because they have fewer pieces that they're having to like juggle and work with. But it is interesting when you look at what's left there, that is a lot of green. Those palm trees, man, they're going to be a bit of a challenge, I think.
I think it looks scarier than it is. I think a lot of the top puzzlers are going to be able to pick through that.
Well, easy for you to say, Jim.
Well, well, I think what they're going to do is that those palm trees, there's a distinct color on each of the leaf chunks.
You're right.
And so if you kind of tease out, hey, this is the darkest of the dark, this is the lightest of the light, and you work it out that way.
You also have those little coconuts in the middle of each of them. That's gonna, and there's even a clue because one of them has like 5 coconuts. So that's going to help you if any of those pieces are like touching those. So that can help you kind of build out from the coconuts And then you've got the gradient behind it too. So that's going to be a huge help.
You keep trying to make as many anchor points as you can. A lot of times we talk about trying to make the close that you want it to be. So where do you want to finish up? And the more you can outline things, the more you can get as much of the easy stuff out of the way, you're in pretty good shape. And I know that there's some puzzlers that they want to dive into the hardest part first. So that way that's out of the way, and then the second half of the puzzle, they can just scream through the rest of it.
But do not recommend myself. I am not that person. I like to get as much of the puzzle done as I can and leave the hard part to last, because that gives you the most context clues to work with, because you're going to have everything around it done, and you can kind of build off of those pieces. So that tends to be more my approach. But I do know people that, like you said, they prefer that because it sort of frees them up in a weird way, and it probably helps them a little bit mentally to kind of tackle maybe what they are envisioning as being the hard part first.
Yeah,
and a lot of it is a mental game, right? Like you talk about that all the time, Jim.
100%. Mallory Elemi there at table 180 doing a really great job. I know that some puzzlers, they get nervous if they're placed at a table that's kind of further back numerically.
Yeah.
And there's kind of this game of they want to beat the seat. You know,
right.
it's like I want to beat the table number, and that can be really difficult to start focusing in on a little bit. Table 128 here. That looks to be Angela Kwan. Has the full border worked out? For those of you playing at home, a full border is about 86 pieces of the puzzle, or 17% of the overall build. So that's a pretty decent metric to get you to make a good estimate of where people are at certain times. We're coming up on the 27-minute line here, and these puzzlers are doing a really good job. I know this isn't the most straightforward image, but we're seeing this progress really starting to kick through, and you're absolutely right, Val. The more and more people learn about this particular image as they work on it, the faster they're going to start accelerating.
Yeah, for sure. So what I'm hearing on the floor is that the vast majority of folks, it's sort of that middle section that's just kind of all coming together first, and then they're having to tackle either the lower part or the upper part after. So that is kind of interesting about this puzzle, that a lot of the kind of more easy sections are just right through the middle. So that gives people a lot to build off of.
It's also going to let you use that middle to do shape work both above and below that area. It's going to be a good sandwich to work through. And look at this parade of hands.
I love
Everybody
this.
just hitting those pieces as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It's almost like one of those Animorph book covers where everybody's morphing into a more and more complete puzzle as they go through.
Very cool. I like what you said about beat the seat, because one thing I do want to point out, I mean, there's a lot of people that may be coming to this competition and have never competed at another major competition or wouldn't have anything for us to rank them from. It is not unheard of for somebody at table 199 to suddenly come out in the top of their prelim and be at table 10 come final time. So that happens. So we could see some people finishing that we just have no idea, like,
yeah,
they're out there, right?
There's plenty of people coming out of the woodwork as speed puzzling continues to grow, where the larger community may not know about them yet, but I am excited to figure out who they are and learn from them, because it's just so exciting whenever we have people that kind of just blast onto the screen. Alice Rowe a few years ago was one of those folks, right?
Yep, 2024 Jigsaw Nationals. She'd had, I think, maybe one competition under her belt, and then she came in and won the whole thing, was the individual final champion that year.
Look at this, Kelly Walter and Hannah Sigler. It looks like a little bit of a dead heat. There's gaps for both of them in different spots. Hannah Sigler may have a little bit of an edge here because she has those purple flowers in the lower right already built out.
But then Kelly has worn the skies, so I think it's a pretty even trade, maybe.
It's so cool.
And now we're getting an over-the-shoulder view of Hannah, so that's nice. Kind of see from her perspective.
I love Hannah's puzzling because her hands, it looks like they're not moving fast, but she's so gosh darn accurate that it makes up for it every single time. And her physicality has just gotten better every year that she's been going.
Yep.
And look at this progress over here. I'm not sure which table this is. I'm so sorry for not having it on me. But we can see that they've done a really excellent job. Those buildings are worked out. Those purple flowers in the lower left. I think they did a similar tactic on that side that the puzzlers do on the right side with those orange flower centers. And so it's a similar game. There's that gate coming together like you were talking about earlier, Val. That white line working out.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people, I think, getting the white picket fence together.
And we just crossed the 30-minute line. And so folks are really cooking at this stage.
Yep. Yeah, I love that yellow background bit. Like, that would be catnip to me, to just be like, oh yeah, grab all the yellow, just start popping that in there.
Yep. Now, for those of you playing at home, in order to get a puzzle done under 35 minutes or at 35 minutes, you have to be going at about 14 pieces per minute, which is a crazy pace.
That is a crazy
pace. In order to try to hit that. But these puzzlers are doing a really good job. Being able to, just for a little context for folks at home, being able to get a puzzle done in under an hour and a half is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
That is really, really amazing.
All the time people are like, well, you know, I don't expect to do that well. And I'm like, well, what do you typically do? And they're like, oh, I usually get done around an hour and 15. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, no shame at all. Like, if you can get a puzzle done in under an hour and a half, that is a really, really, like,
you should be proud of it.
Yeah, totally.
Right? A lot of speed puzzling is similar to like marathon running, where you're playing against yourself and doing the best you can on that day. And we're seeing this coming out in spades. So many puzzlers have a lot of that building area worked out. There's Kyle Cozen. Look at how quickly he's gone.
Kyle's burning through it.
He almost only has fill-in in the bottom. I think Kyle is in the lead right now.
Kyle might be in the lead right now.
And
who's that? Sammy?
That's Sammy Brownlow. Sammy Brownlow has
Oh,
just a little bit of fill-in. I think
doing
Sammy
great.
and Kyle are about even right
they
now in terms
are.
of overall piece count.
Oh, this is fascinating.
This is going to be a really, really
This is
close
gonna
end.
be tight.
We're coming up on the 32-minute line. I'm
Yep.
so excited for this.
Well, I'm not going to get this. I said 33. It's not going to be that. But you might get close, Jim, with 36, because it's going to really start to fly for people as they get close to the finish.
Well, it's one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to accelerate, depending on how they're able to get those palm trees
or
in,
I guess it could
or they're going to hit the
down.
speed bumps.
Yeah.
You'd see Kelly Walter here on the left going to try getting a lot of the more straightforward parts of that background sky worked out, so that way she can really use just the shape of the piece to finish that up.
This is going to be a nail biter because she had a lot of gaps filled in that other people didn't have in the sky yet. So even if it's looking really complete on the bottom, it doesn't mean that that's, you know, gonna substantially affect the placement.
And just as a reminder for folks at home, these puzzlers have not seen this puzzle before. This is not one that they've practiced. It's not one that they've studied. So they are working on raw puzzle prowess right now.
Yeah.
And you can see Sky flying through the bottom. There's a little bit of a gap in the lower middle that she still needs to work through. But I think there's maybe about 50 pieces left at the top that's gonna have to sink through here.
Yep. Yeah, we're so excited that Ravensburger works with us to provide all unreleased puzzles. And, you know, it changes almost every year in terms of what the needs are for us. So it's not even like they can just go, well, they're always going to need this. Because this year we changed it up for the team prelim, and that they're doing a 500 piece first, followed by 1,000. In the past, it's been 2 1,000s. So we kind of shortened up those team prelims a little bit just to give people a little more breathing room over the course of the weekend. And then the final round for teams will have the 2 1,000 piece puzzles. But yeah, so we kind of switch it up every year, and Ravensburger's just fantastic to work with and making it work for us.
This is going to be such an exciting close.
Yeah,
and for those of you watching at home, we may not be able to get all of the finishers on camera at the same time, but we're certainly going to try. Andrea Pang right here, flying through the rest of it. Andrea Pang is sometimes called the Dead Reckoning Specialist, where she picks it up and drops it in. She's changed her puzzling style a little bit this past year, just getting a new tactic working for her, and she's flying. And that's Elizabeth Gallagher also doing a great job coming in on the close through the bottom.
Look at this.
This is going
at
to
table 30.
This is going to be an exciting match of who can do the shape work in the bottom fastest to get that fill in, and then get the rest of that gradient in the top. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen as much of that. Kelly Walter is probably down to about 60 pieces here, and it's a Swiss cheese close. Everything in the bottom, there's an individual piece that she's going to be able to pick up and sink in. There's no ambiguity in the bottom, so anything that has that dark green background, she's just going to be able to sink in, and then it's going to be a game of who can do the purple and the yellows inside of that.
What just happened? It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, she's maybe going to get this. Like
Kelly Walter's shape work is so good, and once she locks in and she's able to see that, it just flies through the rest of it. We're coming up on 34 minutes and 40 seconds here.
Oh, Jim, you're going to be close maybe. I do want to point out Kelly is our individual champion for 2025, so she's our returning champ right now. So, I mean, obviously coming into this, we would expect that she would do really, really well. And I think, you know, we could be looking at our top finisher there, but we'll see.
It's going to be close. And even then, if you're within a few seconds, you know, that can sometimes come down to an unfavorable flip, a few more pieces face down whenever you started out. So the level here is so unbelievably high. But look at the progress between these two. You can see that over on the right-hand side, a lot of that puzzle is locked in. I think that's Sky on the right.
Yep,
Sky has a little bit, maybe about, I want to say close to 75 pieces remaining. Kelly Walter there on the left, I think she's down to the last 35 maybe or so, and it's all fill-in. She's going to be able to blitz through the rest of it. Hannah Sigler doing an excellent job here. You can see that she's trying to get the rest of that that snake plant in, and that's a really tricky chunk of this puzzle to try to work out.
It's just like every piece she picks up, just bam, bam, bam. They just go in. Like, she's just fantastic.
She's almost at the point of zero ambiguity where she can use just the shape of the piece and drop it in where it's going to go. There's not going to be a lot of planning, and there it is. There's no longer a gap here where there's uncertainty. Anything she picks up can go in at this point. We just hit the 36-minute line, and she's going to be able to get the rest of these in. I almost want to count it out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
She's so close. I think
it's so close. She's going to be able to close this out really
rapidly.
rapidly.
Cameras aren't going anywhere else, so we must be looking at our top finisher in this prelim right
here. Get those last ones in. Is she going to be able to keep it under 36:20? I think it's going to be really close. Those last two, using both hands.
Nailed it,
oh,
yeah,
there it is. Congrats. Oh, come on.
There it is. Congratulations. Fantastic, Kelly.
Fantastic finish.
Fantastic. And you nailed it. It was like right around 36:28 or something like that, maybe. Sorry, I didn't get you exact time, but yeah, nice work, Kelly. That's fantastic. It's so funny because there was a little time there when they went to Kyle, and I was like, well, he might have this. And then all of a sudden, Kelly just clicks into overdrive, and there it goes.
Well, and look, he is flying right now.
He is. He's flying.
He's going to be able to keep this under the 40-minute line for sure.
And he's doing one of the things that I started doing late in the speed puzzling game, which is that kind of feeder hand where he had like a bunch of puzzles in the one hand, and then his placing hand is just grabbing off of that and just keeping it going. And I think that's a really great technique. Once I started doing that, I noticed improvement in my time. So, yeah, this is great to see Kyle doing this, just doing so well. And now this is Hannah Sigler.
Yep, Hannah Sigler coming in on probably the last 25 pieces or so. And that's a tough area of this to close. I know early on I was like, that sky gradient looks like it might be an okay target. And this is where how the colors in the image sits on the cut is really important. I think that's Jen Sipple at table 3. She's she has a lot of that sky in, and that snake plant is going to be throwing a lot of people for a loop here.
Yeah, it kind of does look like that snake plant is maybe a bit of a challenge with all the lines, maybe.
Every round, I hope that we clear the room. We get everybody to finish.
Exactly.
I want to see people hit their PR.
We want to get done with these live streams early. It's too much time sitting at this desk, everyone. I want to go do some fun things. So let's get everybody out of here in under an hour and a half, but we'll see.
Hannah Sigler doing a great job here. You can see that she's down to those last 30 pieces. She's using both hands simultaneously in order to get pieces in. You can see she's using both her left and her right. She's rotating them in place to sink them in spot. And that's such a cool technique whenever you come into the close and there's not a whole lot of uncertainty about where things are going to go. It saves you an extra trip.
Yeah, Hannah, I mean, nice work, Heather Mueller, one of our board members, and how she placed folks, because table number 1 finished first, and it's looking like table number 2 is going to finish second.
And here's Kyle. You can see what Kyle did is he used the top area of where he's puzzling as a little bit of a piece jail. So if he tries it a couple of times, he'll put it above the table so that way he doesn't hyperfixate and get stuck on it and get locked in. Hannah Sigler coming in on the last 7 pieces here. It's so exciting at this stage. And I want to point out that these puzzlers are sitting right next to us, so they've probably been hearing us
got their
rag on them quite a bit.
And their AirPods and their headphones on, probably to tune us out. That would be my guess. And
Hannah Sigler gets that last one in. We just crossed the 39-minute line. Get in it. There it is. Congratulations, Hannah.
Nice, Hannah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe she is Mari's pairs partner.
Correct.
Oh, they're going to be a pair to reckon with, everybody, so make sure you come and tune into the pairs prelims. So here we go. Kyle might get third in this, which I would be so happy for Kyle. He has worked really hard. He is always working on practicing, getting faster.
You'd see he's scanning left to right as he puts it in. He goes left to right, just sinking one more in. He's going to be able to get those last couple in just under the 40-minute line. Is he going to be able to pull it off? Another 9 seconds. There it is. Congratulations, Kyle.
Good job, Kyle.
And there's his mascot. I believe it's Jams. Jams the tiger.
Yep. Nice work, Kyle. Kyle.
Very, very well done. And there's Sammy
Sammy.
Brown. Sammy Brownlow. She's put all the extra pieces onto that sorting tray in the middle of the puzzle, so that way it's easier for her to reach and then be able to sink them into the rest of it. She's about.
And they got the white background, so you don't have like the confusing puzzle behind them if you're setting them on the puzzle. So that's a really nice technique we're seeing from Sammy.
There's a really nice Zacco puzzle board, but you can see she's picking it up and she scans it real quick and then sinks it in where it's going to go. That's one of those efficiency moves whenever there's so much overlap between different things or duplication. This is going to be so close.
So close.
Just going to be 3 pieces. Sky hits it. Sky hits it just at 40-37.
Yep.
Just slightly ahead. I think Sammy's going to be maybe just a few seconds behind. Congratulations to Sky. And Andrea Pang has finished as well.
Oh, and Andrea finished. We didn't catch it. We missed Andrea's finish. And another
Jen
person.
Sippel, the finishes are going to start rolling in here so quickly.
Exactly. I feel like the judges are going to have their work cut out for them. There's going to be a lot of finishes happening pretty fast, but this is incredible. I mean, we've already got top 5, 6 people, and we're at 40-minute mark, so or just over 40. So that's incredible.
It's absolutely amazing. You know, a few years ago, in the U.S. finals, I think the first time finish was at 40 minutes.
Right.
And so just the level of competition, everybody's ability has gotten so much better, and that's with the being shot out of a cannon.
Oh, there we go.
There's
and
Melinda.
From Melinda. Oh, congratulations, Melinda.
A huge gasp of relief.
Yeah, right? I would suspect, though, like, as much as, like, it is stressful, this is one of those puzzles where I don't feel like you're ever going to really feel stuck. Like, you might have a few, like you said, speed bumps along the way where it's like, oh, shoot, now I got to do these trees, and a lot of them look similar. But I feel like you could really get into a nice flow state with this puzzle and just keep on trucking, and it must just feel really good. I love puzzles like that.
Gail is coming to the close. There's also this element of fatigue that starts sitting in.
Sure,
you know,
yep.
It's when was
high
the last
intensity
time,
for 40 minutes straight. Yep.
Like, when was the last time you just stayed hyper focused on something for 40 minutes straight?
Yeah.
It's so difficult. Emily Russell doing a great job here, coming into the close. Is she going to be able to keep this under the 42-minute and 30-second line? I think there's maybe about 7 pieces left.
Oh, no, she's got a few left over there. Yep.
Oh, there's a couple more remaining. They're just on the other side, but you can see that there's some uncertainty whenever she picks them up. But then she sinks it in. Emily's doing a great job here.
Yeah.
I think Emily is Emily Chandran's partner. I was watching her there. She is so blasted fast. Her physicality is so good, and you could see it right there. Andrea Heiston. Doing a great job. I love the disco ball earrings.
I was just going to say, fabulous earrings. We're going to see some great puzzle fashion this weekend, everybody.
But she's coming into the close. We have
Gail McCormick here at 17. Oh, Gail killing it.
Gail, look at that! How quickly she picked those up and sunk them in.
Oh, fantastic! Good job, Gail.
And then who's next to Gail there? I think that's Fifi.
Fifi
also
nice
Fifi finished just ahead of Gail.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, Fifi.
That's fantastic.
Very,
I love it when
well
a pair at a table is like so closely matched that they just get to finish right around the same time. Yeah, they're coming in fast and furious. We'll definitely be going to our leaderboard in a little bit so you can see how that top 10 looks.
This is Emily's first time at nationals, and she's doing an excellent job here. She's one of those people that picked up speed puzzling like 2 months ago.
Oh, no way.
And she's already this good.
That's fantastic. See, bringing the knowledge, Jim. This is why you're here. I have not had time to keep up on all of my my puzzle goss, so I know
there it is. Those last 2 pieces, get them in.
Top people.
Keep it under 44. Let's go.
Nice.
There it is.
Good job, Emily. That's fantastic. Oh, Misty just told me she was on the wait list, so she got in this morning. That's awesome.
And there's Andrea Heiston. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a missing piece?
Maybe
Are we checking around?
Yeah, and we can clarify that for folks. So how it works at USA Jigsaw Nationals, if there's a missing piece, they just take note of it when that last piece they have goes in, and that if they can't find the piece, it's just a 10-second penalty that gets added. That's the same if it's like multiple pieces missing. So if there was like a manufacturing error, which doesn't happen very often, but
and Jen Lunsford with a clear finish.
Nice.
Great job.
It's 10-second penalty no matter how many pieces are missing, within reason, of course.
It's table 12. I think this is this mod.
Oh, great.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Solid finish.
I mean, under 45, right? Great. Oh, yeah. We're going to go there.
Oh, yeah.
Or whichever.
We're going to take a second here and shuffle as we have somebody to have a quick chat with.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, we have a special guest with us, Kelly Walter, winner of our first individual prelim. How you feeling?
I'm excited that I got it over with. Definitely, I feel like got some of the jitters out. Yeah, it was a little.
Wait, hang on a second. I just want to check it. You mean a national U.S. champion felt nervous?
Yes.
You mean you're a mere mortal like the rest of us? Kelly, this is crazy.
I know. I just thought this is like a regular morning for you with just, breakfast, knock out a speed puzzle in under 40 and then, just a regular day.
It did feel pretty good to just get it out of the way, and I felt pretty happy. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw I had an edge piece wrong for like half the puzzle. I was like,
no, we didn't. I didn't notice this.
Jim did. He was too nice to say anything about it. So that was. I'm sure that looked great the whole time.
It was fun to watch. Well, and then but the
they
thing
were
is
they were murdering you in the chat.
Just
so you know.
You didn't hyperfixate and you moved on from it, which was so cool. Tell us a little bit about how you approached this thing. Actually, I'm really curious what was going through your head whenever this came out of the box.
Well, at first I liked it, and then I was just a little worried that it might show up darker because sometimes it doesn't always print. And it wasn't, so that was a pleasant surprise.
Just do a quick call out. Jerome Chung with a strong finish there.
Nice, Jerome.
His whole family does speed puzzling.
Oh,
He's just a wonderful human being.
But this red, the yellow and red big building on the right really stuck out to me, so I pulled those pieces. I pulled the edges, but my sorting was bad, so I knew I didn't get all of them.
Okay. Well, we noticed that, but we also commented on the fact that that's good. You moved on. You were like, they'll come later. You just got going with it. You got on with it.
Yeah. Usually in competition, it all goes haywire. So I'm like, I know I missed a bunch of edges, so we're just gonna do something else. I liked that all of the greenery was slightly different, so if you just paid a little bit of attention to the piece, you could figure out where it went. I knew the palm trees at the top were going to be tough, but it wasn't too bad.
For people who are not high level amazing puzzlers, how do you pay attention to that kind of greenery, that kind of flower? Do you zoom in on individual pieces? Or are you thinking what's background? Tell people what that looks like to pay attention. Yeah.
So as I was going through, you kind of want to. I familiarize myself with the puzzle. So I saw that these little sand dollar almost looking bush
right next to where the blue house is.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty noticeable. So those pieces I just put over there, and then they're different colors. So I think the color works. And then if you look at the texture, they all have different textures, and you can also just see what other little snippets are on next to it because the colors are pretty spread out throughout the puzzle.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, what's interesting, the snake plant. Was the snake plant hard? Because we're seeing a lot of people with the snake plant kind of lingering around.
Once you filled in everything else, I didn't think it was too bad.
Okay. But it wasn't something you were drawn to, lines, I'll do those.
I sorted them, and then I said, we'll do these later.
Smart. Seems like the right approach. It worked, right? I mean, you came in first in the division, so yeah.
Yeah. This gradient sky was very fun, too. I really was drawn to that, and it helped a lot with these palm trees.
Yeah, it seemed like it did a really good job of setting you up to be able to lock in the close rather than having one big gap to work through.
Yeah. I have a really bad habit of puzzle watching whoever I'm next to.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm like, am I keeping up? And then I'm like, okay, maybe not, but we'll just keep going. But I saw Hannah had left the top part for last, so I was like, okay, we'll see if that. I think it just worked for me because I was drawn to the pinks and the oranges and the yellows.
Yeah. And there's Karen Puzzle.
Just finished.
Congratulations,
nice.
Karen.
Good job,
just
Karen.
under the 49:30 line.
Yep.
That's a fantastic time for Karen.
That's a great time. I know she's nervous because she hasn't been doing the individual game for a while, but I think she should be super happy with that.
100%.
So that's great.
Katie Erickson there with her.
I mean, it's just been a steady cavalcade of finishes going on here. I love all the USA Jigsaw Nationals representation. Lots of T-shirts out there. So Kelly, what is your ideal for pulling out of the bag? In terms of what do you feel like if you saw, you'd be like, yeah, that is 100% my puzzle? Or are you telling yourself that for every puzzle that comes out?
I did listen to Maria and Jim's Peace Talks episode. I think I just don't really know what I'm good at. I don't think I've spent enough time trying to figure it out.
All of it?
Maybe works.
All of it?
Maybe works in my favor. But I was excited that there was a bunch of distinct pieces that you could sort out. I do think I tend to do better with images like that.
Okay. No, this like, I know last year people were kind of nervous because of how difficult some of those puzzles were. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited were you that it was something that was a little more straightforward like this one?
I don't know. I think I was too nervous to think about the image.
I'm so sad that I'm like, every time somebody tells me I'll filled with anxiety and nervousness, I'm like, why do I do this to people? I help organize this thing. And then all they talk about is how like this, like, you know, this weekend of total tension and everything. But I hope that's only the case for this round, right?
Yeah, I think individuals is like the most nerve-wracking because you have to do the whole puzzle yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know I'm not going to forget how to puzzle. I think I've gotten to that point, but you never know.
Right. But now you're done for today. There's no more competitions today in the official like Ravensburger championship stuff. Are you going to go do more competing, or are you going to like hold off on, you know, exerting yourself all weekend? Because for those of you not here, we have a bunch of casual competitions happening all weekend. So there's puzzle chess, there's sprints, there's Cobble Hill has a whole room dedicated to relay races and what they're calling the gauntlet and Cobble Together and all these like team events. Are you doing any of that, or are you like, nope, I'm going to kind of just hang, chill? What's your plan?
Yeah, so I'm going to try and do puzzle chess this afternoon. I may have a schedule conflict, but I'm going to do some of it at least.
Okay.
So just for fun.
Yeah,
That'd be
good.
really
Cool. Do you do a lot of puzzle chess?
No.
So just here.
Yeah. So I was like, we'll try it. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
I don't really.
I suspect a lot of people see the trophy and then they're like, well, now I got to try
I
it.
heard that it's fancy.
Yeah, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
It is so Becca Taylor herself crocheted a large chess piece that has a tiny puzzle piece at the top, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, nobody's going to care about winning the regular competition because they're all going to want that puzzle chess trophy because it was made by your hands, Becca.
Becca Taylor's a wonderful human being.
She is a wonderful human being.
I do want
Look
to point
at this.
out
So many finishes.
We had somebody from the back of the Karina Krajik at table 163 just about to finish here. This is one of those dark horses that come out of nowhere and sticks it in.
Honestly,
Congratulations.
if I was in this, I would be
Awesome.
really nervous about making that top 50 because there's just, like I said, there's so many fast puzzlers in here.
We have I think about 30 confirmed finishers so far. So there's still room for people to make it into the finals. I know everybody's been pushing so hard. They're trying to get this done. Kelly, what advice do you have for people that might still be in the slog right now?
I don't know if you could see it, but when I was kind of just had green left, there was a few times where my mind was racing, and I just like picked my hands up and just took a deep breath and was like, okay, let's find one piece that we can put in. And because sometimes it just feels like, oh, I can't put any piece in right now. And I think just taking a half a second to take a breath and then move on is very helpful.
I love that. Just a quick reset button
Yeah.
to calm everything down so you can refocus. I love that. That's so
Yeah,
good.
that is great. I mean, I feel like that's such good advice because that's not something that you necessarily think to do in the middle of a speed competition is to just take a moment and breathe and stop what you're doing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
There were a couple people in the chat that were asking, what music are you listening to whenever you're puzzling?
Or are you listening to this? Are you listening to the live stream and us talking?
Okay, and my songs were changing at one point, and I did hear Jim say my name, and it was a little scary.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
I
okay.
know. I'm so relieved when the people right next to us are wearing headphones because I'm like, thank God, because I don't want to feel like I'm affecting your game.
You
so
don't.
lovely.
You don't.
Okay.
I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing okay. But no, I listen to like a genre I call hyper pop.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
So
Fast paced.
yeah,
Yeah.
poppy songs, things that make me smile.
Nice.
That's usually what I go for.
I dig it.
Yeah. We should have you give the crew back there some advice because we're going to try to play music like between rounds, you know, obviously not during rounds. I think there'd be a riot if we were like, oh, and everybody's going to listen to music now. But yeah, so, you know, we want some hyper pop, I think, some fun stuff to get everybody going.
That was a great finish for Amanda
there's
Messenger just
Jessa.
there. Yeah, Jess Douglas is also finished. This is
yeah, so many people. So one thing I will point out, if you guys want to see results, if you're watching and you're wanting to see them as they come in, you can go to the worldjigsawpuzzle.org. There is a results tab. You just click on that, look for USA Jigsaw Nationals, and then you will see all the different divisions for the entire weekend. You can click on individual A and you'll be able to see the times as they get entered. We're going to go to the results board, I think, in a little bit here, too, on the stream to just kind of show you some folks. But we're kind of working out the kinks. This is the first live stream of the weekend. It's a whole new crew we're working with. There you go. You can see the leaderboard.
And those are amazing times. So many people under the 40-minute line. Kelly Walter at 36:24.
But that's a big gap, Kelly. I mean, you actually had a 2-minute, 52-second gap in there, which that's pretty impressive.
So I want to say a shout out to my old pairs partner, Andrea Pang. She decided to come last minute and finish 4th in this round, so that's super awesome.
Very cool.
Very happy for her.
I told her, I joked with her, I said, well, you know, I'd heard Abby Patna wasn't able to be here and she was at table 4, and I was like, maybe we put you there under the camera, and Andrea was like, no, thank you. I was like, if you get in, but she was in line I think she got in line at like 7:45 a.m. so that she would get a spot. So she was very dedicated to making sure she got in today.
Just in a second ago, we saw Jamie Kosenberg finish, and
another.
I don't have the table number, but congratulations, Tara Griffiths coming into the close as well. This is just it's so exciting to see so many people coming into the finish. I know that we have right now at least 35. We're up to 42 finishers that have been confirmed, and I know there's a little bit of a lag, so we're coming up on the last wave of people that might be able to make it into finals. And this can be a little nerve-wracking for folks.
Yeah, because I think in under an hour we're going to see our top 50 easily that we're going to advance to the final on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, I know you have lots of other people that you want to go hang out with and talk and celebrate with. Do you have any like shout outs, anything you want to say to the universe before we let you get on with your day?
Well, thank you to the board and all the volunteers. This is such an amazing convention, and like I was there at the first one you guys hosted in 2022.
Yes.
In like a tiny little hotel convention center, and so the fact that it's like on this scale is awesome.
Oh, that's
and
great.
We really appreciate all the work. And then shout out to all my friends and family that are watching. I know it's early on the West Coast, but good morning to all of you.
Well, and thanks so much for coming over.
Thank you.
Just best of luck throughout the weekend. We love watching you, and you're amazing. So just thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congrats.
That's very well done.
Yeah.
Some awesome
All
puzzling.
right, look at this. So we have like 32 minutes to go in this. And again, like this is incredible. We're seeing so many empty tables already. Like I think you called it, Jim. We might have everybody done here before the hour and a half mark.
I'm really hoping. It's one of my favorite things because being able to have this
So
many
great.
people in the room at the same time, be able to finish under the hour and a half. That's just it's got to be an organizer's dream to have so many people do
100%.
great like
right?
this.
Yeah, that is our hope. I mean, when we're picking puzzles, and I saw that in the chat earlier, people were like, well, it is nationals. Sometimes they like to pick hard ones. And we do. We like to challenge people. But at the same time, we want it to be an enjoyable experience and something that people are excited about. We don't want them coming into it like dreading it.
Well, and I will say, this is not an easy puzzle.
No.
This is not the kind of puzzle that you go, oh, everybody's going to PR on this one. This is
Right.
like the most straightforward thing in the galaxy.
It's not like a 12 collage type of setup or something like that.
No, this is you have to think to get through this,
Yep.
and you can see all of these puzzlers have done such a great job of figuring out how they want to approach it for themselves and be really successful in this.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I want to point something out, and I don't know if you're going to see it, but of course, William is like our puzzle entrepreneur. I should bring him over if he has time. I'm going to have our head judge jump on here.
Oh, yay.
Because William, who is our head judge, he has a new technique, and we're going to see it around.
Do I need to go get it first?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you could demonstrate doing something else, but William is going to join us momentarily.
Jim, the headwear.
Yeah. We have to have. I wanted to be as cool as you.
Yeah. Well, that's more spiffy, is what I think I said on
So
stocks.
already, William is the inventor of the Shanling Shim. Which do you want to explain what that is, so folks? are not familiar with what that is.
So it's pretty simple. There was a need for some sort of device to mark puzzle pieces that have fallen on the floor, and really from a safety perspective, we want to make sure that judges don't slip on that puzzle piece, or the camera crew who are looking forward, they're looking through their lens, they're not looking at the ground. Just a small visual indicator to make sure we don't kick it further out of the way or slip on it. Now, luckily, this carpet is pretty safe. We're good.
Yeah.
But anywhere tile or there's wood floor, we want to make sure that we don't slip on that. So what that actually does is it slightly helps the puzzlers who might have dropped a piece find it. Now, that little bit of help we're giving is not as important as the safety that Shanling Shin is providing. So
it's basically a yellow piece of paper,
that's
bright
all it
yellow.
Is. That's all it is.
And they slide it under the piece, so to help kind of indicate where it is. But William came up with another invention this year.
Let's quickly.
Okay,
I have one for each of you.
Oh,
we can show that to the
great.
camera.
Can you autograph it for me?
I'd be happy to, Val. I'd be happy to. So, and it's actually pretty simple for the judges. The judges know, hey, put the puzzle piece that's fallen right on that pinpoint.
Yeah.
So it's pretty simple.
Nice.
And I'm sad to report we've already used a couple today. It's not a surprise, and that's okay, but we're happy to have them. And the second thing, are you talking about the duster?
Yes, the duster.
Oh, okay.
He has a duster
So,
technique now.
Jim, we are going into the whatever century this is. We're going even further.
Okay,
So
we're living in 3030.
It's true. So we're always trying to find ways to be more efficient in our turnover time between rounds. So what we've done is we've just taken small pieces of cardboard or foam core board, and once a table is clear, instead of having to pull the poster board from out from under the Zacco table divider and shaking the poster board in the aisle to get all the Ravensburger beautiful puzzle dust off, we just take this piece of foam core and using physics, who would have thought I could figure out physics, because I don't.
I'm so proud.
Just shake above the surface, and all the puzzle dust goes into the air and then onto the floor.
For us to breathe in.
I love it.
Great.
That's fine. Puzzle dust is a beautiful thing.
Yes,
thing to
exactly.
have.
It's good for the body.
Yeah,
It really
it's
is.
fine.
Yeah.
But we're actually saving up probably about 7 to 9 minutes on the reset,
Yeah.
which is everything.
Yeah.
That is a huge efficiency boost. I love it.
Right.
So we've already have one of our volunteers, Sue, going around, and you'll see her
I
walking
saw
back and
her,
forth.
and that's why I thought of it. And I was like, okay, William, get over here and tell us about this.
Yeah,
'cause I'm
surprise.
sure you'll see it on camera at some
Happy
point.
surprise pop-in. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's been great. And this has been such a fun image for everyone. What's the vibe been so far?
I mean, I think it's
For tropical
great.
vibes.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot to tell the name of the puzzle. Yeah, it's called Tropical Vibes, and I mean, it's fun, right? It's just like colorful, beautiful. There's Crystal Coaches.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Crystal. Looking very relieved, but yeah, I mean, what's the vibe on the floor? I guess we're over here at the desk. What are you feeling out there?
I think there's definitely first round jitters for the competitors, because this is the first one. All eyes are on them. The folks in B have been coming up to me around the edges of the competition floor saying, I am so glad I'm in B, just so I can watch one, and then now I'm happy to just jump in.
Oh, wait till they see the puzzle.
Oh, we'll see.
Val, you
I'm
can't
teasing.
scare people like that. You're going to
I'm
give somebody a heart
teasing
attack.
Everyone, don't ever take me seriously when I start talking about future puzzles. It's purely a liar's game here. I am going to try to throw you all off all weekend. So when I start talking about a crypt later, just ignore me.
It's
Like,
crypt
all
puzzles
good.
all the way
It's
down.
on.
Somebody said that in the chat, and I was like, yes, that is correct. It is all night puzzles and crypt.
I do want to point out here, we do have 50 confirmed finishers
Yeah.
at this point.
Okay.
So so everybody playing past this point, they're not going to make it into the finals, but they are going to put up a great time for themselves. And I know a lot of people, their
Exactly.
goal is just to finish within the time frame.
100%.
And everybody can still do that right now. There's
Yep.
lots of time to be able to pull that off.
And with that said, I know that this is going to be the maximum time that we're going to have a lot of finishers. We're going to be concentrated kind of towards the center of this time.
Yep.
So I'm going to head back out.
Okay.
But you
Well,
better
thanks
believe
for
I'll say
stopping
hi
in.
some other time.
All right.
Thank you
yes,
so
we
much,
will have you
William.
back. Thanks, William.
Sounds great.
People in the chat are impressed with this new technique, so we're going to have
Yeah.
to make sure we get it on camera.
It's all about efficiency here at USA JPA.
Yeah, right?
I'll see you soon.
We're setting new records, breaking new ground all the time, so we love it. Thanks, William. Yeah,
Thank
I
you
will
so much.
point out, so when you're looking at those results on the results page, eventually they'll have a Q next to their name, and that'll indicate that they are officially moving on to the final. We don't put that up immediately just because if there's, for example, like a judge that happens to have put a time in their pocket and they hadn't handed it in, or it got mixed up with other ones and it's not clear. So we wait until it's all over, all is said and done, so we can kind of verify everything and make sure all the times have come in and that nothing got missed before we put that cue next to their name. Because how it works with the judges is they have a little slip of paper that's just under everybody's like table card, and they actually write the time on there physically, and then they go hand it to our head judge, Heather Mueller, who has assistant today, Arlene, who's helping with data entry. So they get it in there, and then we verify everything at the end and put the cue next to those who will be moving on.
You can see here, Makako Hiromi coming in on the last couple of pieces.
Yeah.
She's going to be just over an hour 5. Is she going to be able to keep it under the 30-second line? It's going to come really close. You can see that she's using her hand to pick it up, rotate it in place. There's so quick. It's so close. I think there's a piece missing. She's got to hunt for it. Is she going to take the 5-second penalty, or she's going to have to find it? It's not in the bag. Just call time.
They get a 10-second penalty, but they don't have to call time.
Oh,
So
okay. It's called for them.
Because what happens is they can look for the piece, and if they get it in and under the 10 seconds, that's their time. If they don't get it in, then the 10 seconds is just applied to whatever they put that other final piece
That's
in.
such a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's a great finish.
Yeah, great job.
Super well done.
Bummer when there's a piece missing. I bet they're going to find it. Usually it gets found. It's in a bag or it's on the floor somewhere where they just couldn't find it. But, yeah, we hope that they find it okay. Sometimes it ends up that somebody else saw it, they picked it up, they thought it was for their puzzle, and then they're like, I have an extra piece at the end. So we always tell people, don't just throw the puzzle away because you could end up finding it later.
Well, it's one of those things where early on you can be so excited and adrenalized
Right?
that you open the bag and
Yeah,
just
and stuff
fire
goes
things
flying.
everywhere.
Yep.
It happens.
It does.
But you can see these two going head-to-head here. This is going to be a really close finish between two people right around the 106. I can't see the name on there, but congratulations, did a great job. And right next to him, that was about a 3-second
Right?
difference.
Look at that.
Table 60.
60.
I think that's Julia Winner and Michelle Penta that had just finished within seconds of each other.
Yeah,
so cool.
great work.
Whenever it's that close, that's the kind of finish where if you I'll get real nerdy for a second. Every time you touch a piece is about a half a second. So if you have a flip where you have maybe 4 extra pieces face down, that's a 2-second difference that you're kind of stuck with.
I know. There's a luck of the draw element, because sometimes you might just dump the bag out, and lucky for you, a lot of the pieces are face up already. You don't have to do the flipping. I did want to ask you a little bit about, so I listened to you on a recent episode of Peace Talk. Shout out to Rob Shields. He does a podcast about speed puzzling called Peace, as in Puzzle Piece Talks. Mari and Jim here were on that recently and had so much good advice for puzzlers and people that are new to speed puzzling or have been doing this for a while. And you talked a lot about the mental game and how, everybody, there's like a sort of almost like an elite puzzler class where everybody's in this top zone of they're really high performer speed puzzlers, and it's just anybody's game on any day of the week, right? Like it could be this person wins, it could be this person. A lot just depends on how things come out of the bag, what puzzle it is.
Yeah, no, it's really true there, Val. At a certain point, there's a lot of luck of the draw of what those images are going to be, how it sits on the pieces, even just how you're feeling that day. Maybe you didn't get the full night's sleep you were expecting, and that can be just enough to shave off 5 seconds here or there that can add up. It doesn't mean that any puzzler is suddenly worse on that particular day or suddenly better. Everybody in that zone is at about the same level, and it's really about who's the best on that particular day.
Exactly. And I love that. I think that's one of the reasons this community is so welcoming and supportive of each other, because you are, a lot of the times, your biggest competition is yourself. It's like, how am I going to approach this? What obstacles am I going to work through? You're not thinking about anybody else's puzzling and what they're doing. It's really about, how am I going to attack this? What's going to be the best approach for me, mentally, and just making the most of the skills I have to do this puzzle well. And I love that about it. And we're seeing so much of that as well at this year's competition. If you go look at the teams and the pairs, you are going to see so much juggling of team members and pairs, because people they meet each other, they become friends, and it's not even about oh, we did well last year, so we have to puzzle together. It's, I would really like to puzzle with so-and-so this time, let's do that. It's not a very I would say cutthroat community. It's very much let's have fun with this.
Well, I think that's a really wonderful thing. There's so many puzzlers that they know that they don't have times that are going to be under an hour.
Right.
But they can still do really, really well for themselves. Owen Wartella here, he's coming in on the close. I'm super excited for him. He's a fabulous human being. And that's the thing that gets me excited, is that you don't have to win every single round or aim to win every round to still want to be part of the community and do really well for yourself in the moment. Like, see, I don't have the name here, but see how excited these people are just to accomplish something like this in competition. It's so difficult for a lot of folks.
That was Abby Verton. 124? Yeah.
Great.
Nice job, Abby.
It's so difficult for people to get an unpublished puzzle and to work on it, because unless you have somebody that's like ordering them for you and putting them in a bag, it's not going to happen. So this is a really cool case of being able to try a puzzle completely unseen, completely unknown, around this other group of people to do it all at once. It's so cool.
I do love that you just mentioned that, though, because that is something you do for Mari, of getting puzzles, putting them in bags so she can't see them. And so she has that surprise element, and she can kind of practice that mental game and approach to how you're going to react to the puzzle that you pull out of the bag. That's a great technique to use for people who are trying to like get in the game, so to speak, and like really learn how to become good at speed puzzling. So you need yourself, a friend or a partner or somebody who can help you with that kind of stuff, and that's a great thing to have.
Well, and if one of the great things about the puzzle community, all you got to do is ask. If you just walk up to somebody, you're like, hey, can you go through the stack and bag it for me real quick? Somebody is more than happy to do that for you, and it's really, really sweet.
Right.
See some more finishes happening. This is William Shanley was talking a few moments ago how there's this wave of finishers that happens a little after the hour mark, and so him and the rest of the team are running around like crazy, trying to keep track of everybody. There's a whole army of folks in yellow vests, these judges, trying to keep track of the finishers. You can see here those palm trees giving a lot of folks the hurting here towards the end. But you're absolutely right, Val, that getting those red coconuts locked in and then finishing up from there is the way to go. And focusing in, trying to get those last couple of bits in.
I will say, just looking at the overall room right now, you can just see like basically the first, I'd say, 4 rows from the front back are largely empty. There's just a lot of people who have finished this puzzle. So if you want to check those results and just see how they are coming in, we do have somebody again joining us here at the booth. We're very excited to welcome over Kyle Kosen. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Kosen or Cousin?
Kosen.
Kosen. Oh my gosh. How have I not gotten that right in all these years, Kyle?
Congrats,
I've known
Owen.
you forever and I'm still getting the name wrong. I appreciate the clarification. But yeah, so I believe you got 4th in that round, right?
Third.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, I got my notes wrong.
I mean, that surprised me too.
Here it is. It's right there, 3rd. Yes. Okay, well, how did you feel about that? I mean, that's a great finish.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I was very happy with this puzzle. I would consider this style of puzzle my strength, like a flat illustration. So when I opened that bag and pulled it out, I was ecstatic.
Oh,
truly.
Nice.
I was, a lot of people, they like this in-person competition where, it gets the adrenaline going. For me, I panic. The anxiety was pretty extreme, so I was worried about conquering that, but it turned out pretty well.
It seems like you were able to like really keep it under control this go around.
Yeah, I did.
Were you doing anything different this time to like latch onto that?
I don't know. Coming into the whole event with a different mindset, I think, putting a little bit less pressure on myself has been helpful lately. And then, my playlist, I just let it shuffle and do whatever songs come up, and it was the right mix today. Yeah.
Were you wishing you'd had like a kind of tropical vibe, so to speak, with the music?
It could have been. I'm trying to think if there's anything like that. I don't think so. But no, it kept me energized, kept me calm at the same time. So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about how you approach this thing.
Yeah, so I really like architecture in general, so I went for all the buildings first. I was kind of putting all 3 of them together at once. Then once those were done, looking for specific flowers. It's really nice because there's a little bit of repetition. So like you can pull all the purple and get a decent section of the puzzle done, but not too much that it's overwhelming that you get mixed up. So yeah, it was easy to divide this puzzle into smaller sections and go from there. So for me, it was the buildings and the flowers, trees at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of called it with the palm trees maybe being the hard part at the end, just because they're kind of all same, and everything else is a nice like mixture of textures and colors and smaller little sections. And you started to see it towards the end where the pieces left over were like, oh yeah, that's a lot of green and like little black outlines.
Everyone's scrambling. Me and I was sharing a table with Leslie, finishing the same exact section, same exact kind of feeling where it was hard to close with the palm trees there. But I had flashbacks too to the first nationals final puzzle because it had the palm trees with everyone's finishing in the green. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I noticed that as you were going into the end, you had like this row of pieces that were above your build field. I thought that you were using a bit of a piece jail with that. Was it sorted, or was it like you had tried it and tossed them up to get away from it? Okay, it was
the
a piece
latter.
jail situation.
So yeah, at that point, maybe shape sorting would have been the best call. I was in a frenzy for sure, not thinking totally clearly. So, I mean, what I like to do is once I try a piece for, I don't know, several seconds, then I put it off to the side so I don't touch it until much later.
So you mentioned you felt like you were, doing a little better on the mental game, feeling like, okay, I got this, kind of a little bit less stressed maybe. Do you think the convention atmosphere and just the other things that are happening is helping with that, or is it more something you're working on and not so much the vibe here at the event?
It's a little of both. I've definitely been very mindful of it the past few weeks. As I've been training, just not being quite as hard on myself as I have been in the past. And coming here first and foremost just to have a good time and to enjoy the company and cheer everyone on. And I don't know, I think if you have that perspective, it can help you to do well. Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. So are you going to do more puzzling today, or are you going to take a break? What's your kind of approach? Because I know some people are like, I want to save the energy a little bit so that I'm more like fresh out of the gate and not fatigued because I just spent the entire day puzzling. So what's your approach going to be to that?
Well, my team is one of those where we're coming from all over the country. So like this is our...
You're going to practice.
We practiced yesterday, and that was our first puzzle we'd done together since Nationals last year.
Oh, really?
So shaking up all the puzzle rust.
Yeah, right?
So we're going to do a little bit tonight, but definitely a lot of downtime too.
But I feel like probably everybody on your team, and you want to tell people who you're with, like, because I think probably everybody on your team has improved over the course of the year, right? And you came in second last year. So.
Yeah, so my pairs partner is Matt Netlow, and then we're teaming up with Connor and Josh.
Yep.
So same as last year, same pair, same team. And yeah, we got high hopes.
Yeah, good.
Don't have the advantage of practicing together like a lot of the teams regularly, but we're very excited.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to do fantastic anyway, because you are a wonderful puzzler to begin with, let alone everybody else that's on your team. And you are such a calming force with everybody that you're around that it can help take that pressure off and really stay the focus. But I'm so excited for how well you did in this individual round. Like, going sub 40 is amazing, especially on Rav like this.
Yeah,
like, that's really well done.
The best prelim finish I've had.
Really?
Let's go!
That's fantastic.
At Nationals,
Congratulations, Well, I mean, you're not very far behind Kelly Walter, who, got first in this round.
Yeah, phenomenal
right?
as always.
Yeah, right? And so that's, definitely something to be very proud of. So, great
thank
work.
You.
You have a lot of fans in the chat. I mentioned that you were going to be on a pairs, and that, Kyle from Twitch was killing it, and people were like, yay, Kyle. So,
that's fun.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and read it.
No, and I'm excited to have you on the pairs co-hosting
first
tomorrow.
Race
That'll
tomorrow,
be great. Yep, with Matt.
Right.
That'll be super fun.
Yeah.
So, well, we should let you go and enjoy, but thanks so much for joining us and stopping by.
Well, thank you.
Have a fantastic rest of the day.
You're doing a great job. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle.
Cheers, man. Congrats.
I'm just so proud of all these people that are finishing. I mean, this is incredible. Looking at the room, I'd say we're 75% of the room is just cleared out.
It is going wonderfully. I'm so excited. We can see Anne getting ready to finish here. Congratulations.
Nice.
And there's,
love the shirt.
I will say,
Peace, love cats.
we're coming up on the hour and 20-minute line, so there's going to be about 10 minutes remaining for people to try to finish, to try to get this in under the hour and a half line. We could see Gabby Melly here at table 149 doing a great job. She has maybe about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe about 12 pieces remaining. She's going to be able to knock the rest of this out.
For sure.
Can she keep it under 122? That's going to be the fun line. Is can she move
and now
just
that's
a little
the
fast
thing.
enough to get it?
As these cameras are going around, it's like judging, okay, are all these people going to finish in under the hour and a half? Like, do they have a shot at it? I haven't seen a lot of them. I'm sure we'll be seeing more here, but I mean, I hope that's the case.
Well, and even if you're not all going to fit. Oh, there's I think that's Dunkman.
Dunkman. Trying to find the name.
That's Andrew Dunkman at 103 that is finished. Congratulations.
Yes.
Right next to him, I believe that's Alyssa Heim, also coming close to the end. 149 is also doing an excellent job here. Yeah, that's Gabby Melly. There it is. Congratulations.
Very nice.
Kept it under 122, 121 even. That's a great finish for her. And it's a huge achievement to be able to get a puzzle done under an hour and a half in a competition,
right?
With all the pressure hanging around. We can see that the camera crew and the judges are running from side to side. For those of you who are watching at home, you can see that in the background there's a whole bunch of people hanging out. Yeah. There's chairs. There's people
Lots
cheering folks around.
Oh, and then I'm going to constantly be making jokes about our epic bleachers. I think I called them like epic in an email we sent out to everybody, and then the bleachers came, and they are about 3 feet tall. But, we have them. That's what counts.
And a great finish for Natalie Hinckley at table 96.
Nice.
Really well done. Just over an hour, 21:25. This is where I get really excited, because this is the group of puzzlers that are having to stay focused for so long. They're trying to keep the pace for so long. It's so difficult with so many distractions running around.
And probably coming into this just being like, I just want to finish the puzzle. That is my goal. I just want to get under an hour and a half and just make sure I finish. And that, so yeah, props to everybody who's reaching that goal, because that would be my goal coming into this as well. Can I just finish in the under an hour and a half? That would be great.
I mean, we were talking earlier that getting a puzzle done in under 2 hours is a feat.
Exactly.
So in this compressed time of an hour and a half is really wild. Dawn doing a great job. I think there's 5, maybe 6 pieces left. Hard to see on the other side. But I love this. Whenever people are at this level of close, they don't have to check the box quite as much, because what they pick up is going to be easily discernible to slide in where it's going to live.
I'm going to point out, Michaela Keener is the judge there that's like waiting to catch Dawn Marie's time. Michaela is not doing individuals this year. She said, you know what? I don't want to be like under that pressure. I'm just going to help out and volunteer. She is going to do pairs and teams, but individual round, she's taken a break from it this year, and she's super excited to get to judge for a change. She was telling me, she's like, I just think it's going to be so much fun. And it is, as a judge, and another shout out to Peace Talks with Rob Shields. He had Daphne and William, our head judges for the whole weekend, that were on recently, and they talked about individuals being their favorite because you're there to congratulate them as the volunteer. Like, you're the first person they're going to interact with. It's just such a lovely feeling and so rewarding to get to do that.
To welcome them to the other side of the trial, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because when you're with a pair or team, you're celebrating with those folks when you finish. But when you're by yourself at the table, it's nice to have that head volunteer there to kind of get the high five and get the congratulations and just have another smiling face ready to greet you. So I love that little detail from that podcast and listening to them talk about what that's like. Absolutely.
For those of you watching at home or listening, please check out Peace Talks with Rob Shields. He is an amazing interviewer, just a humble human being, and the folks that he gets on there to interview are top level. They're all from all over. It's really, really fascinating.
And he gets all perspectives. He had Thomas Kepler from Ravensburger, the president of Ravensburger North America, on recently. And so Thomas talked a lot about the partnership they have with USA JPA and putting on this event. And it was just fascinating because he's been with Ravensburger his entire career, worked there in college, like in summers, and doing internships. And it was just fascinating. So definitely check that out.
Yep. I can't quite see the name on this person, but they're doing a great job. There may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're maybe about 10 pieces away from being able to finish this up. They're going to be able to keep it under an hour and a half, which is really impressive.
Yeah, for sure we'll get done in under the hour and a half.
Yeah, Val, you were saying a minute ago, there's a lot of people that decided not to do individuals this year, but they're doing the other competition. I think that's wonderful. I am all for people following their joy and doing the things that bring them the most excitement.
Yep.
And that's really great. There's a handful of people I know that aren't doing teams, but they are doing individuals and pairs.
Oh, really?
Because
Okay.
team stresses them out.
Really?
Right? So,
oh, yeah. Everybody's different, right? And like how they approach it, what they enjoy about it. One thing I find kind of funny, we've had a lot of conversation, and for those of you interested, there's a World Series event that's happening in Munich this year. It's totally individual competition. So basically it's like they have multiple rounds and opportunities to continue to move on in the World Series, like kind of championship. And you're going to be commentating at that. I saw,
will be,
Jim, you
yeah.
announced online. That's very exciting. I'd been like debating because I know a lot of people that are going and participating. And I'm like, I would love to go just to go, but stressful. Like I don't want to do the individual stuff. So for me, it's just like, no thanks. But she's scrambling, Chloe, to get that piece, and they found it.
There it is.
They got it
Congrats.
in right at the end, and then we cut away. Sorry, everybody. There's your room shot, so
There
you
it
can
is.
see like just how empty the room is. Like so many
Doing a
people
great
have
job.
managed to finish. Oh, I love the T-shirt. I'd rather be doing a puzzle. Me too. I would love to be doing a puzzle. People joke about that all the time. You guys should have one going in the booth. I'm like, well, we're a little distracted.
No, I appreciate it, Val. And the World Series is so cool because they're shortening the time frame, so you only have an hour and 15 minutes to get these puzzles done. And they're designing it where it's not a knockout round. So if you get through and you didn't finish, you're not out. You're going to be in every round. And they're designing the puzzles to test different techniques and strategies in every single round.
Yeah, so
it's
shout
really,
out
really
to
exciting.
Melissa Townsend and Lou Jacket who are organizing that event. They're dear friends of USA JPA, the Australian JPA folks, and they're just incredible puzzlers in their own right, and organizing that event for the first time. And I've seen the venue photos online, and it just looks amazing. So you must be super pumped, Jim. We'll be watching for that.
Thank you. I'm really excited for it, and I think there's only a handful of spots left. So if you're wanting to travel to Munich,
get in there, everybody.
Now's your chance, right?
Yeah,
Do
go
a puzzle
check it out
tour.
online. It just look up, it's just called the, I think, World Series
Speed
of
Puzzling World
Speed
Series.
Puzzling
Yeah.
World Series. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, and look at this.
There you can see the technique in the
Yep,
background.
there's the fan.
There's the fan.
A little bit of physics. I am always excited for physics.
Well,
A great finish,
nice.
table 102.
127.
That was Jamie Barcara finishing up strong, just under the hour and a half mark, doing a great job. Next door, I think that's going to be Jose Salinas at table 101.
Yep.
He's so close to finishing. I wonder if we're going to get a call out for how much time's left.
She
so
already
people know
gave the 5
She gave
minute
it.
mark.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
just a second ago. I do want to point out the physics references. Jim is a physics teacher, so for those of you not in the know at home.
Yeah, I've done the university thing in textbooks. So unfortunately, if you've worked on a problem, I may have caused your tears, and I apologize for that. But this is so exciting.
This person's definitely going to finish. Plenty of time to get those in. Not that many left.
You can see how locked in she is.
Yep.
She's using that right hand to drop it in where it's going to go. You can see that sometimes people get real adrenalized. They're not sure what to do with their other hand.
Yep.
And that happens with all puzzlers across the board. People get really, really excited, and that adrenaline hits in different ways. But you can see that she's doing a great job hovering in. She's doing that typewriter set of picking up a piece, trying it in a few different spots to sink it in. We sometimes call this brute forcing the puzzle, because you are taking a piece and just checking it until it goes in. She's doing a great job here. We're at an hour 28 and almost 40 seconds here, and she has 5 pieces remaining. Is she going to be able to keep this under the 29-minute mark? I certainly hope so. She does a quick rotate. There's only 2 pieces remaining. She's going to be able to get this last one in. Rotates it in. One more remaining.
There
She did
it goes.
it. There it is. Oh, there's a piece down. Piece down.
Oh, there it was in the bag.
It's inside the bag.
It's always in the bag.
Come on, sink it. Get it in. You can do it.
That's one of the, more than one piece was in the
Oh,
bag.
there were a couple. Oh,
Okay.
this is, come on, you can do it. There it is.
Oh, right under one. Oh, right under. 1 minute to go. Congrats.
Wonderful finish. And now we
Yes.
have 50 seconds remaining in this competition. We'd see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe about 15, 20 pieces remaining inside of that fill-in. And we know that this is a really difficult area of the puzzle to try to wrap up on.
Yes, this is going to be, I don't know if this person's going to get it, but they're going to be so close.
But look at the
But
acceleration. Look at the
just
acceleration.
sinking in right now, just one after the other. Like, they could still do this.
Like a machine, it's entirely possible.
Yes.
This is where being on Team Believe. I love this table 101 at Solize.
Yeah,
you see that it
Jose.
has a little sign for good luck. Is he going to be able to get these last ones in? I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know.
But it's such a great finish to get this
Yes.
much done. So
Right?
good is wonderful.
Yeah, this is fantastic. We've just had so much fun watching everybody today.
187 just under the
Just
line.
under the line. Fantastic.
Congratulations, everybody.
Nice job, everybody. Well, we are going to be back at 11:30 with individual prelim B. I will have Kieran Puzzles joining me as a co-host. You are going to get to see Jim again this weekend. He's back on Sunday with the team final. We're so excited.
Thanks for having me.
In the meantime, you've got lots of things to do in the next few. You're doing a seminar, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm on one of the panels. There's going to be all sorts of fun puzzling going on.
Are
so
you competing, Jim? I heard a rumor.
I heard that rumor too.
Oh,
I don't know how.
interesting.
Yeah. That's crazy random happenstance. That. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We're going to be watching for
we'll see,
you.
We'll see what happens.
Looking for your name. All right, we're going to do a quick glimpse at the glimpse of the leaderboard. Oh, wait, that's not the leaderboard that we want to be looking for. Sorry, that looks like a different leaderboard. Sorry, everybody. We're working out the kinks. This is our first one of the day, but we want to thank everybody for joining us for this stream. It's been a pleasure. Can't wait to enjoy the rest of the weekend with everybody and to see you again on Sunday, Jim, and potentially on the floor.
Thank you for having me, Val. This is what a great way to start off a weekend of puzzling with a beautiful image, wonderful puzzlers, and just a fantastic human being right next to me. So thank you so much.
All right. We love it. Thanks, everybody.
All right.